Hey there and welcome back to the channel. Today I learned something, by the way. Look at that. This is actually field 1. How interesting is that, by the way? Right, so, you know, like we probably can buy a field and place everything that we want right on the field. Let's say we want to take care of all of these buildings, make a normal field out of it, and place everything here on number 2. I think that is a possibility though, and I find that a very, very cool thing, right? So there's a lot of extra freedom for me that I found out. Anyways, in the last episode we made some extra money. It's finally task and field work again for us, and we just want to do that though. Field 11 I will do personally, but now let's see what makes money. I would say stone picking will make a lot of money right there. We do need some extra help for it though, so that's alright. But first, let's do some hoeing at field 51. And yeah, then we can do this one too. Although it will take a very long time, I think we might be okay with that. Just in case, right, we want to park our tractor over here. So we can actually grab the trailer whenever we want to for the stone picking, if nothing else just shows up, right, you know. That's called preparedness, right, you know. So off we are. Let's go grab that, and that one. We want to have some passive money, right, you know, flowing into a bank. And I think we will be making around... You know what? We are going to shop in a little bit, you know, and see for how much money we actually have to save. Throw an extra tractor that is powerful enough will help us out so much. It's a lovely design, by the way. Look at the dash, right? You know, with the airco. Right, like that. Beautiful. Yeah, the wind blowing holes right down below the steering wheel. That's pretty cool, though. That's a nice design that just blends right in. You have one to the left and right, too. On the top, they are open. Hey, wait a minute. Is that a phone holder? That is a phone holder though, isn't it? Interesting. So you can be distracted while driving on the road. No, I'm kidding. It's probably for the field work though, and it's just for text messages and, you know, like maybe YouTube or whatsoever. On the field, that's alright though, in my opinion. As long as you keep your eyes on the lines, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, look at this. It's a beautiful tool though. And the extension is rather proper now, isn't it? The Pottinger, we have used it before, and I have to say it is a very, very nice one though, right, to use. By the way, let's do it ourselves a little bit. Kind of like using these beautiful machines though, huh? Well, you kind of have to if you do like this game, I suppose. And here we are. Just trying to stay on the right side, right of the field. So far, so good. Let's go a little bit over. Yeah, you know, this feels so nice to actually use a new machine, right? You know, or, you know, like a tool in this case. It just feels different. And I'm sure that it will be a big momentum too if we are going to buy it for ourselves, because it just stands for a different step though, right, you know, in our farming journey. But everything in due time. But I kind of wonder though, like, should I invest more in you know, like, what should I invest more in? I do know that I do need another tractor though, so that is a fact. But shall I invest more into tools like machines for liming and weeding and stuff like that? Or shall I actually go for the big stuff first? I know it doesn't really make sense though, but it has benefits, right? It does have massive benefits, think about it, like a harvester, right? It just goes way quicker at that stage. But then again, you have so many other tools that you do actually have to rent or lease. And I think leasing time might almost be over, I suppose. And not really at the same time, because we do want a harvester, of course. But yeah, you know, like, what would be the wisest thing? And I would think it would actually be, you know, like the smaller items first. So we have some basic control over it. Whenever we can weed and we can seed. We already have that though. Or yeah, we do have a different seeder. We have a sprayer. None of them are very ideal though, but they are very good in what you have to do. So yeah, you know, like, I think we might be going for that, because if we had a limer and all that stuff, or crop harvest would be so much bigger. Alright, let's continue here with an AI worker, and here we are, my boy. Yeah, the jobs, they are aplenty, but they are not too many of them, sadly. So let's borrow the items. This one we will haul ourselves over. This one will be used by a madame. There you go. Or maybe a sir, though. It seems like we are mostly hiring ladies. Why not, right, you know? Papa. I really do like this machine, though. There is something about it. It looks like like a beast, right? You know, it looks very sportly. And at the same time, it does look a little bit futuristic, you know what I mean? And very strong. And yet so compact. I like it. And yet it's so simple at the same time, you know? Let's take a nice little left over here. Right towards the field, right? Yeah, I think we can actually start right here. Lots and lots to do, though, for... It's a sure this time, alright. So, you know, I could have been right, I could have been wrong. It's a 50-50 chance. Look at that, though, huh? Season 2 has been released. Year 2 season pass, not bad. Still have to buy season 1 though. You know, I started a little bit late. I got a collector's edition for my birthday. We had some other stuff on our channel in the meanwhile. Not the way I wanted to go though, because with these games, that's where my passion lies, you know what I mean? So we did set it off a little bit too long, but man, that's nice. World's fastest tractor? That is an interesting thing though. Plus expansions, of course. New map, 2026. My boy. I mean, that is something else now, isn't it? It's like Peru? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a little bit in South America, though. Now that I think about this game a little bit more often, right? Because I play it on a daily basis, and I see that there are companies here and there, and the game is so much more than just farming. I'm not even sure if you do need to farm in this game, because there's so many options, right? Like, you could buy some canola, and you can make oils from that and sell that again, right? You know, and if you're smart with it, you can have yourself a proper challenge. But at the same time, though, right? You know, like, you know, the game could become so much more than what it is already. Like Euro Truck Simulator 2, right? They are going to implement buses. I mean, it will just change the entire game from trucks to buses. And that is very, very cool in my opinion. Especially if it's a long city bus, right? You know, or a long distance bus or city buses. There's a massive difference there. And I do like the idea quite a bit. Now imagine though, like, you could have actually roadcraft in this game. You know, I mean, how wild is that though? Or, hey, you know, like garbage disposal or something. And from that you can make biogases or clean the water, right? You know, from the sewers. And you have specialized vehicles for that, of course, you know, and factories. Ooh, no, too early. Too early indeed. Let's try to turn around here. I thought we had a longer road there, but oh well. But there are so many options though that you can actually have in this game. Like, you could actually have what a lot of farmers have though, right? You know, is like a small garage at your farm. And with that garage, you could actually get a task maybe, and then you see a tractor that you have to repair. Huh? You know? It's like PC building simulator, but then with vehicles, you know? That is so incredibly cool, these options. So you can actually have a dedicated mechanical station, right? You know? I love that idea. And then you can tune it maybe, make it a little bit stronger, or, you know, like you want to have a different color and stuff like that. So you take the parts off and then you start to paint it, and there's so many options though where this game can go. Let's be honest, it's almost unlimited. Flying will be a little bit too much though, unless the mobs become huge though, but you know what I mean. Okay, 91, huh? So yeah, you know, like, there are a lot of options. Heck, you could even make, with the new DLC, right, for fishing, you could even make your own sushi restaurant where you have to chop the sushi up or something like that, right, you know? Or, and make the rice. Or maybe something like a fast food joint where you can actually, you know, sell fish and chips and other fish products. Like calamari rings and, you know, herrings with onions. Just Dutch style, a little bit raw. It's actually pretty decent, by the way. All the way to the right we are going. Okay. It's all clean for us. This is one heck of a tractor, though. I believe it is my... Whoa, 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 whoa. What is that? Okay. It's a little bit longer than I thought it would be. There we go. Yeah, it is a different one. I knew it. So we did drive like one of these before. And by the way, that trailer there will be totally annihilated by now. We just could just throw it away at, you know, or we have to make an entire right arm of it. But anyways, you know, like, this tractor is so cool. Look at that. Is that really necessarily? Is there a bonus for that exhaust over there to be that thick? Or is it just like, you know, it will be a little bit silly looking if the exhaust has a massive pipe next to it? You know? I kind of wonder at this point. But it's a different tractor. Oh my god, no wonder it's a Fendt. I thought it was a John Deere though. Wait a minute. Is it really? Yeah, well, clearly it is though. We did see it on the steering wheel, but now this too. This is like a John Deere what we have driven two types of before. And this is a Fendt. My dude. I just want to say though, right, you know, without realizing it. Ooh, look at that ventilator move. Wow. That radiator though, that's absolutely crazy big. Radiator over here too. Well, it kind of has to be big, right, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to say, I really do like this John Deere version more than the other ones. You know? Because the nose is not as far forward as, you know, like that one John Deere. And the other John Deere, that has double the tracks, one for steering and all. Ooh, gotta learn how to drive this bad boy though, it seems, huh? For real, we gotta be a little bit more... Oh wow, it has a strange steering. I see. Alright, that is interesting. That is very interesting though. Look at the steering mechanic. Do you see that? I'm not sure why that is steering like that though, but I get it. Look at that honey over there. Looks delicious. But yeah, the double track, right, where you do have the front that steers for you instead of the single one that we have right now. It is an awesome thing of the John Deere, and I do really like that one. The other one with the nose, it is super cool looking. Let's be honest there too. It's a little bit weird, a little bit wonky looking though, because this looks a lot more sturdy compared to that one. And this one looks more compact, but I think it's the same size though. I really do think it's the same size. But I do like the tracks here. It is so much longer and less wonky looking because the nose is probably the same size, but it looks a little bit shorter. If it all makes sense though, you know what I mean? And it's green, so that's a massive positive, right? And here we are. Hoppa. Let's see how the AI is doing directly. No way, it is just that massive. Lady, you cannot do that though. You can't do that. No! No, what are you doing, lady? No! Yeah. Let's put that back though. Yeah, let's fold it. Wait a minute. Oh no. Lady. Do we have the... Yes, okay. Whew! Sometimes it's just... Which button was it again to actually sneeze? You know what I mean though? There's just so many buttons in this game. Oh boy. Yeah. It's difficult to find decent workers these days. Can you imagine we just have to cancel this awesome job? Is it because of that black pipe that just clipped right through there? I think it is. Okay, you know what? Let's risk it. Can we move? Come on! Oh no! I so love this though. I don't, by the way. You know, like, it feels wrong, my dudes. No. It was my mistake, but the AI placed it where it should not be placed, right, you know, so let's keep that in mind too. I mean, she had no rights to just unload it right there. It's that little brush over there. Okay. Whew. Damn. We did it. Alright, let's put it off. She should have known better. You know, there are mirrors in the back. Let's go right like this. And that would be so funny if I would screw it up myself. You know what I mean, though? It steers so weird. Yep. There we go. Alright. Let's go and activate this one. And let's hope for the best, of course. Always a fun message to get when you're actually on the field. Oh. Yeah, that's the issue, right? Normally it doesn't react that quick, so I'm looking at the tool, right? What we are dragging behind us. And because of the steering of these single tracks, right, you know, has a full tank. Okay, we really have to go there. The AI there is full. But yeah, you know, you really turn very sharply. And I like that about this, but it's driving so different. You have to really think about it and plan it. And the best thing, of course, would that be just continuous use. I have to say, though, this is impressive, though. This field will be done in no time. Already 11%. Let's see, 12. Okay. Okay, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20. Okay, 26 seconds, though. So that are like 5 seconds, though. Well, 26 seconds. Lol. 26 counts. That's around 5 seconds for one person touch. I mean, that is a big win, a big W. Now, let's go right over here. Now, which side was it again? Oh, yeah, it was right behind, though. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Can she activate it? She does activate it, though. I did not know, which is nice. So I kind of did too much myself in the last time that we used one of those. right over here. That's a dream job. Oh, we should actually put the engine off. There you go. Now let's see. Farmland that is active. 5K for bale wrapping. No need to ask me twice. Look at that. Technically, we should drive all the way around, right? You know, and to stay on the roads. But I know the farmer is kind of chill with us of that field over there. So we can actually drive against his trees, apparently. We can just drive around here on the side. There we go. It's a lot quicker this way, I suppose. It's kind of cool to see, by the way, that we have mown this field. We have plowed this field. We have fertilized this field. And we have seeded this field, if I'm not mistaken, too. So, well, wait a minute. Fertilizing, I'm not 100% certain, though, but... Alright. Let's try to activate that one, so it's automatic. Automated. But yeah, you know, like, we have done a lot for this field, though. It's kind of crazy how much we have done for other farmers compared to ourselves. But that's because if I do a lot for myself, we will just end up a little bit poor, right? Because I have to buy a new field, I have to buy all the new tools. And talking about buying a new field, maybe we should save money for a new field first. Before we invest in a new tractor, though. Yeah, I think so, because right now we can just focus on our own stuff, right? Like, check right here. I kind of want to buy one of these fields, though. Maybe field number 6. 225, probably because there's a lot of stuff growing on there. 7, 9, 108, 184. That's a lot of hectare, by the way. Okay, not a lot less though, right? You know, we still have over half of this. But the price is kind of... Okay, yeah, well, it kind of matches though. And 376 hectare. See? Look at the price though. It's insane. But, oh, because we do get a lot of wood with it too. 225 hectares. I think we should do it. I think we should save money for that. It's going to be a very, very good addition though. So now we have that goal. Let's make money. Let's make a lot of money though. And here we go. The last bale though. Oh, nice. Oh, very, very nice. Oh, helper. Does not stop ever. What do you mean? Take care of something. By the way, that achievement was from... an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I totally forgot about it. Was it Terminator? No, it was not. Was it... I think it was... Aliens, right? No, Predator. Yeah. It was. Cool. Anyways, that's a lot of money in my bank account, which is lovely though. So let's just keep on hauling. 1.35, not bad. I think we can automate that one too, right? So... It will be a little bit of a profit, but that's okay. You know, profit is profit. So we did kind of learn though from our last mistakes with the stones. I know that we can donate them, you know, for money. I know how that sounds like though, but we can actually do whatever we need. Oh, I do have to do this manually, so that's kind of bad. But let's stop the ignition. We could, and I advise to do this, drop technically all the stones that we do gather ASAP on your farm somewhere. So you have a pile of that. Later on you can just scoop them up and then you have a lot of stones that you can just make money off, right? So that's going to be very important too. Let's go right towards this one and then we are going to a farm ASAP. It's the smartest thing to do, right? Or else it just locks out if the field is completely done and nobody has time for that too, right? You know, so you gotta be careful with that also. Then you can only complete it. Vehicle and stones are gone. We don't even want you to donate it or just to sell it, etc, etc, etc. I mean, 4,000 liters of these stones, though, that is quite a bit, though, if you ask me. Alright, now, we are still here in time, right? 81% is completed on that field. Might be like we have to drive all the way back. If not, hey, good for me, right? You know, we have at least the stones and we have our tractor around here. I would say we could actually drop it like it's hot around here, though, huh? Load, tip side. We cannot really do that, apparently. Which is a very strange thing, though. Right? It should be doing that. Maybe because we don't have the vehicle for it to actually be able to do it. Huh, maybe. Anything is a possibility here. Well, apparently, though, that is the case. How very, very interesting. Oh, well. Let's go. And this one is not even close to full, which is awesome. Your job is complete. There we go. That's lots of money. Now, let's go do the wrapping around here. Start the engine first. Of course, I had a bad memory leak right over there, thinking we already have done what we need to do. Yeah, look at that though. I mean, that's a lot of money though for a very quick job though. Only for hay bales for 1,000 something. And then we do have the lease though, right, you know, to pay for, but I have to say, man, you know, it is still a massive easy win. Especially because we don't have to drop off or lease vehicles. Now this is a big boy that we have not used before, right? It's a big but small, if you know what I mean. Here we go with the bales. Let's see how this one goes. Ah, 2 wheels right at the bottom, right over there, yeah. It's a very simple design, yet elegant though, isn't it? Not bad, not bad, not bad. Look at that. Very simple though, and pleasant to the eyes. So which one do you like more, huh? Like baling these or wrapping these bales like the round ones, or do you like the square ones more? I don't know. I think the round ones have something though, right? But both have the same thing though, same effect, right? You know, with these wrappers. This one is just for a circle, for a round, which is kind of obvious though if you look at the bale, right? But both have those intriguing moving parts though, right? You know, we have the wrapping arm from both sides. That is kind of the base. And then we have that down there, right? You know, we do see belts and we do see wheels. The other one has just 4 wheels, which bounce it a little bit up and let it sink on its side a little bit. You know, because it's a longer object. So technically though, with a round bale like that and a tool like what we have right now, go wild, I would say there are less parts here that can go wrong than with the other one, right? The other one seems to be way more complex though. That's my take. I think the other one is just way more of a complex machine than this one is. And that was the last one though. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's take all the money. 400, 2,500 and 4,100. Not bad. Do we have some new jobs around here that we can just do without investing ourselves? And that by that I mean, you know, not buying fertilizers or anything like that though. We could do the weeding. And there's another stone picking right over there. But I think we will call it a day for today though, huh? Let's go back home. Now, I kind of have to say, though, we had just 1 day of winter. And so far, I might say, like, the 2-day system doesn't really click with me right now. It just feels like we are accelerating our money-making machine just way quicker, though, right? You know? So I will dial it down to 1. And then maybe in a different playthrough, we will go by a couple of days, though. But right now, I don't know. Yeah, I ponder a lot about these things, alright, to optimize it all. But yeah, so if you have suggestions, do let me know, alright? But right now we don't mind, because there are benefits to it too. And negatives though, like I like to say right now. But it's mostly because we still have just one field, right? You know, and we want to have the money to buy more fields. So slowly we will be mostly busy on our own farm though. That is the main goal of this series, to actually be more self-sustained and then slowly specialize into something. Like bees. This will make us rich though. I wish. I wish. 75 kilogram mass. Will it just go up? 20 liters only. That's not a lot, by the way. Wait a minute. 75 kilograms for 20 liters of honey. Is it made of tungsten or something? I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Hoeing for 11k. Very nice. Slowly though, I start to think about burying this myself, because hey, that is almost 1k each time down, right? You know, that's like here too, 1k down, that's then 3k. Now how much is this hoe worth? Now I kind of want to go crazy about this though, right? The roto care. I mean, we could go for Einbok, Elinors, or a bigger Einbok, but that will be very expensive right now. I will just say go for this one, big boy, you know? And we want to buy it because it is now 36k though, but we will get that back in no time. And I know I keep spending money though. I do realize it, but it's going to be worth it. We do need it for our own field too. And now there is our beauty though. I do also think though, before we actually go and buy a new field, I rewrite my plans. We want to grab more tools, right? Because it's just beautiful money making machine and it will just help us out quite a bit. It's all the way to the north, so let's go take this one. And you know, like in that way we can actually do a lot more for ourselves without leasing and all that stuff. And we have higher crop yields. So I know it will take quite a bit of time, you know, to actually get the crop yield rewards, like, you know, the bonuses for next year. It will actually be, right, you know, if we store it and then sell it, and you know the drill, right? You know, and then it has to regrow. But it will just help though. It's like a 2-year plan apparently, right? If I think, because now the harvest will be like 60% yield bonus, which is absolutely awesome. Then after that one, we will plant new. We do the hoeing, we do the field work like liming, and we do everything that we can do to get the maximum yield, hopefully. So that is that. Then we have to wait a year, almost half a year, well, like 10 months. Then we have to harvest that. Then we have to store it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like 2 years further, but it will be worth it because then we can do everything. Then we have basic tools that we can sell. Well, repair first, then we can sell. And we can upgrade them as time comes. In the meanwhile, we have a lot of items too that we can actually use with tasks. I like my plan. I do like it. So I think today was a very productive day though, right? Both of these fields, the one on the right we have done before together, and then we got this beautiful bonus too. Let's get our last payments in for today, unless something really nice does pop up. But as you can see though, we almost have our money back already, which is a very decent thing though, right? You know, especially if you have to pay for so much. Now this one we can do, but I don't feel like it though. 54,000. Well, we will be around 80k. So we have like 26 more to go. But we will do that in the next episode. So by that, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful time. And I will see you guys then. Stay happy, stay healthy. And don't forget to subscribe though. Bye-bye.